There we go. We're live on Twitch, baby. The Twitch has just kicked in. If you got Twitches, you got switches. And I'll just stop right there. I'll stop right there. I'm not going to go too far, ladies and gentlemen. You hear my voice, you know what time it is. It's Tuesday. It's 9 o'clock, and we are live on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. It's your favorite Tuesday night podcast show. It is Nightcap Knowledge. We've got Tanya Boyd Cannon. We got Mr. Mac. I am George Chuck, and we have a financial fitness discussion on deck for this evening. Are you financially fit? We're going to find out. We've got questions. Our guest has answers and solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Nightcap Knowledge. But before we get into the discussion, we want to invite you to a Better Me in 23. It's with the EPS Institute for Health and Fam Bam Fitness. You can sign up at the link below, and we'll definitely drop it in the comments. That's a Better Me in 23, baby. Let's get it. Next time you're in New Orleans, you definitely have to check out Chapter 4 by Chef Duke Chase. The fourth generation or the fourth iteration of the Chase family. Y'all know, look at Chase. I need to get me a Grand D in my life. With my girl Lee. Hey, I need the Grand D. And I ain't talking about the other stuff. I need the Grand D. Eve, you know what I'm talking about. Next time you're in New Orleans, check out Chapter 4 by Chef Duke Chase. If you're ready to get into the property game, I need you to reach out to CLM Realty Group, the fastest growing realty group on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. You can check them out at clmrealtygroup.com. Shout out to our guest from last week. Hey, we got some property brewing, baby. Property is property. We getting some more of it. Definitely got to check out the official water of Nightcap Knowledge, available at Amazon.com. That's refreshing taste, keeping it simple. Aspire Pure. All right, time to put the kids to bed. I hope you got your nightcap in your hand. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to start the show. Why my drums ain't drumming? My drums wasn't drumming. Hey, 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 yeah. Hey, hey. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You
What's up, family?
What is the deal, pickle?
I
Is
am high
everything
right now.
kosher?
I'm
You,
telling y'all now. I ain't gonna sugarcoat shit right now. I'm high already.
Hey, man.
hey,
Listen,
hey, you know when people volunteer something, you already know what the situation is. Anybody say, "Hey, how you feeling? What you doing?" I'm high. I just want to let y'all know. It's
Just
like,
want to let y'all know.
listen. Let me tell y'all.
What happened?
I feel so good.
What
I
happened?
just left the moderating the book signing for best-selling author Chef Toya Bodie, and of course we had a toast and started drinking like Black Girl Magic, Black Woman Magic happened
Mm-hmm.
tonight at the Baldwin and Company NOLA Art Bar tonight.
Toast.
Black owned.
Toast.
I'm high right now. I'm higher than a mother.
Skirt.
don't you say that.
Wait, get this snapshot. Somebody take this picture.
Hold on. You ready? You ready?
With
All right.
their
All right.
shit.
Mac, put your.
Where your glass, Matt? What you drinking?
I was gonna get to that. You know, we usually start off the show, do the whole introduction.
Oh, man,
Nah,
look.
we're gonna keep it
And we
100.
skipped all that, you know.
Man, put your glass up. Put your glass up. Say cheers.
Cheers. There you go.
Got it.
All right. Let me find out.
Yeah,
Now, ladies and gentlemen, in case you wonder why we acting the way we acting, doing what we doing, this show is black and uncensored. This is how it's rated. We are real talk, real issues, real solutions. And we're going to tell it like a
I
T-I-is.
Is.
Now,
Yes.
what am I going to drink? What y'all drinking? Whiskey or cognac? Bourbon.
So I am doing an old fashioned. Shout out to my niece, Faith, Miss Faith, the bartender, curator. She creates my old fashions like it's a new fashion.
All right. All
Hold on.
right.
Who was that?
Faith, you know, you met Faith. Faith was yes. She's
What's
at
the-
a different. She's at the Franklin now, and
What's the base?
Franklin.
What's the base?
baby,
What's the drink?
baby.
What is it? What is it? What's the whiskey?
It's I don't know. It's the faith. I have faith after drinking this.
What you drinking, Chuck?
Man, I'm still on the Jack Apple from last week. Shout out to Larry Lincoln Leggett Obama.
I got to
My
get
boy
on the
got
list.
his own money.
I got to get on the list because he be making sure y'all have.
Well, guess what?
y'all
I
need.
guess I'll drink the cognac that I got from old Larry, and this is a pretty good, the special V. So how about the guy right there, man? It's a pretty good cognac.
Who the special V is, Mac? What that special
What?
V?
Yeah,
We're not on the list, Chuck.
V cognac.
yeah. You know, I actually drank this before on the show, but I'm just reaching and getting it because it's right there.
Okay.
And
Oh,
the whiskey
that's
is
Davidoff. You just saying
Davidoff.
special V. Davidoff. You have to say that, man. If
somebody,
somebody,
I put it right here. I said it's special. That's it's just like saying Remy, but I would say 1738. I wouldn't say Remy 1738.
But it's a new brand though. I mean, I don't know it.
You fired. We all fired.
I don't know it. Look, because see, the thing is, somebody might get in the comments and say, "Hey, man, what's the special V?"
And then I would have pulled a bottle out.
Oh, I can tell you. Oh, that's not this show.
Special V is a Davidoff. It's a nice cognac, very smooth. Kind of give you that Martell flavor.
Hey, Tanya, don't get this button tonight.
What?
Don't get that button.
Wait, where's the M button?
You didn't send it to me.
Lies and garbage.
Hold up, you did.
Oh shit.
Look, where you
Lies
email it
and
to?
garbage.
Where you email it to?
GeorgeChuck@gmail.com.
Okay.
Lies.
All right.
This
Look,
is what happens, ladies and gentlemen.
get your receipts. Get your receipts. And then while you're getting your receipts, we need to get the mental health minute going, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Mac, what do you have on the mental health minute for?
Hey, it's family, man. That's what we do. We always gonna give each other a hard time, but you can't give them a hard time. Just want to make sure y'all understand that. So the mental health minute, it kind of changes. My mental health minute changes now because of the situation that's going on right now at the Capitol. You have blatant racism. You have blatant takeover. True gangsters mob type of mentality where they're trying to take over. So it goes back to the thing we talk about for us, accountability. People are accountable. We are accountable for ourselves, accountable for each other. We are accountable for those who we are responsible and in charge of. And we have folks that are abusing their task and their position. We are accountable. We have to take care of the people that we said that we're going to take care of and not abuse that power for our own personal gain. And I'm saying that because there are folks that are being sent here to the Capitol to represent someone from another county. And their focus is not representing the people from their county. Their focus is representing the people representing their personal interests, which is trying to take over the city of Jackson and Hinds County. So for us, our accountability, what we had to do, we have to know, we had to hold folks accountable, including holding ourselves accountable. And what are we going to do when our community and our people are put up against the wall and faced with some type of thing like this? We have to continue to fight, continue to educate, and continue to work. We have to be accountable for each other, and we have to be accountable for the things that we're trying to make happen, and the people that we are directly connected to.
Yeah.
So accountability, I want to push that thing can go both ways. But right now we need to continue to fight, continue to work, follow what's going on with House Bill 20 and all the other legislation that's going on, all this rhetoric that's happening right now. And let's talk about accountability. And also you could talk about responsibility in that too. So that's my mental health minute. I had to change it because it's still going on. You can see it on YouTube, and it's terrible. I mean, it's just complete takeover. It's nothing worse than if you grabbed a gun and ran into somebody's liquor store and took everything they had. It's no different.
Mhm. And
All right.
definitely we had last week we had Rukia on to give us some insight on that. We would definitely invite everybody to check out the Jackson People's Assembly.org website for information from a trusted source. So definitely check that, take a screenshot of that. I'll make sure that it's placed also in the comments so that if you're interested in being more informed on actions that are taking place around this, how you can be more involved, definitely check out Jackson's People Assembly.org. And it's not just about Jackson, it's about the state of Mississippi. So let me add that on to it. And with that being said, let's go around the horn. We are getting ready for the TBC Entertainment Check-In. Tanya Boy Cannon, tell us what has been
Listen,
going on. What's happening?
baby, besides parade season, we're
That's right.
celebrating Mardi Gras here in New Orleans. I got to take one of them out because I feel like I'm screaming.
Mhm.
Mardi Gras here in New Orleans, celebrating everything, Les Le Bon Ton Roulette. But the word that was given to me to share
Yeah.
was stop chasing the dollar. It's going to come. And
Hello.
so I say that because so many opportunities have been presented to me, and some I can, benefit from, and some others I can as well. But it's not my dollar to take. So I just want to encourage every entertainer out there to don't chase the dollar. Just be open to ideas. I am so excited. Shout out to my girl, Chef Toya Bodie, best-selling author of her new cookbook, Cooking for the Culture. She's talking about everything about New Orleans recipes from the streets of New Orleans to your table. When I tell you this cookbook is one that you want, it's not a cookbook that is just your average cookbook. It's an ode to her ancestors, to her mom and dad, her sisters, her
Mm-hmm.
family. She goes, baby, from every economic background in this cookbook, egg and rice, all the way up to eggplant parmesan, to
Wow.
your crawfish grilled cheese, to your gumbos, to your succotash. But what I loved about her book is when you open the first page is okra. And
Really?
tonight I was able to moderate the conversation. And her book is not just a cookbook that talks about recipes, right? It's history. She talks about watermelon and the story behind watermelon and how powerful we are as Black people to take back the narratives and the understanding of what we own.
Yeah.
She has a fried chicken and watermelon jam sandwich.
Say
Yay.
what? Fried chicken
It's a
and
fried chicken
watermelon jam.
sandwich with a watermelon jam.
I have never heard of watermelon jam. It's
And
like
I'm
that.
vegan. I'm vegan, right?
You
So
had it?
I'm vegan. No, I'm just saying, think about
Oh,
fried chicken, the savory and the sweetness
I'm like,
of
Lord,
watermelon
she
jam.
made Tanya throw down the vegan.
Look,
Plate. Have mercy, Lord.
listen, Harpo, when I tell you, she shared tonight
Yeah.
the reason she talked about her mom going through segregation
Mm-hmm.
and how powerful that was, a conversation when her mom asked about her. Put that shot back up.
I got
She talked about how the cover of her book being a watermelon. And she said she squeezed in that photo. She wanted the juice to run off of her arm.
you.
And
Mm-hmm.
she talked about the power of the watermelon, how it was our fruit and how powerful it was to hydrate us, feed us, nourish us. And then also how a watermelon is cultivated and birthed through 75% of sand. And she talked about how when I tell you this wasn't your average cookbook conversation, it was a conversation in a living room setting, whereas we were able to be educated, um, inspired, and ready to go home and just cook. She
Yeah.
talked about just all of her lovings from being a young mother, a teenage mother, to where she is today. Toya is not just a best-selling author; she is a TV superstar in the kitchen. She's on the Hallmark Channel, well-known, well-versed, but she also shares how she had to own the authenticity of who she was, being a young mother and seeing her child walk in her shoes, not just that as a what is it? Just a what's the word I'm looking for? As a proverb, but it was physically. She talked about how she had gotten so drunk that she woke up the next day and saw her child walking in her shoes and changed her life. So this cookbook is one to have in your library, your kitchen. And man, look, wait, I got to do a screenshot so I can share it with her. Shout
Okay.
out to Chef Toya Bodie for this book and all of the Black excellence that took place tonight at Baldwin and Co. NOLA Art Bar. So you guys can pick up that book, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Walmart, everywhere in your platforms of digital platforms to purchase. She is number one in Southern food cookbooks in the world.
Whoa, that's major. That
Yeah.
is major. Let me give her some
Yeah,
applause.
so it's the second cookbook, and she's like, she's so New Orleans, all day New Orleans.
Yeah.
And we talk about it because people always think when I talk or they talk with me, they're like, Tanya, I thought you was from New Orleans all day. I'm like, look, born Mississippi.
Mississippi,
I
Louisiana.
don't deny it at all.
Yeah.
I'm Mississippi, Louisiana, raised New Orleans. And New Orleans is its own continent, its own
You got that right.
state, its own country, its own island. And so, yeah. So tonight, man, look, Toya, I had to toast. Cheers to my dog, Toya Bodie. Bestseller. So guess what? Y'all ready for this?
Really?
One of the supporters was like, I need you to do vegan. So come this spring,
she got a vegan version coming.
we're gonna work on something. So Nightcap Knowledge, we're gonna be live with that.
Woo! I like those shots you taking, baby. I like the light it up.
So look, entertainment is not just music; it's more than
No.
It's more than that.
Soar. Don't look for the bag. The bag gonna come to you. Trust me, baby. When I tell,
hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
The bag.
gonna come to
Hey,
you.
it's funny you say that because I just had a conversation with a farmer about watermelons, about planting watermelons,
Watermelon.
and about the price, the market value of watermelon and butter beans. We'll have that conversation after we get off. But I'm just telling you the connection. And we're having all this talk about making money while we're talking about being, your better me in 23.
Come on.
And one of the things we got talking about financial
Financially
fitness.
fit. Financially fit. And look, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys,
bring them on in.
We're gonna
Wait,
bring a man.
You don't want to do your word real quick? What's the word?
The groove.
What's the groove?
What's the groove?
I do a quick groove. I do a
Come
quick
on.
groove.
Tell them what you did.
Take your time with it, because once Jamaury come, is Jamaury? I said it right.
Yeah.
Once Jamaury come in, we gonna keep it flowing. So what's the groove?
So this weekend, man, I had an outstanding time. I did a number of events. We really did Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's been a while since I've been able to do a trifecta of events, back to back like that. So Friday, we were on campus at Tougaloo College. We were vending, but the big event of the weekend, man, I pulled out every light I had. I pulled out every speaker I had. I pulled out the photo booth. So we really ran the gamut of services between Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Damn. I think my Tougaloo Bulldogs are undefeated in terms of the conference championship. That should be ours by the end of the month. And we will have the conference championship hosted at Tougaloo College for the GCAC. That's the Gulf Coast Athletic Tournament. But we did a wedding in between all of those things that we did for our dear Tougaloo College. And that was my groove this weekend. And we definitely had one. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get to where the money reside early in the show. And we look, we're not waiting to the end to play where the money reside. We gonna get his brother this his intro music, cause this dude know how to do it. Where we going, Jay Norris? Where we going, Jay Norris? Jamaury, where you at, man? There you go.
It is.
Give me $5, Jay Norris.
What's going on? Look, when I saw Tanya take the tambourine off the wall, I said, "Oh, it's gonna be serious. It's gonna be a shot." Look, she reached back. Hold on, let me get this thing together, and then put it back on the wall. I was like, she done took the decor. Oh man, she done created the whole vibe, man. Because last time I was here, Tanya wasn't here, but I appreciate it. I see why. I see why she's here. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Nightcap for hitting you with the trifecta. Definitely, man. Honored to be here.
But look, hey, Jay Norris, man, look, we know that you on the road. Mac, you go ahead and jump in, and then me and Tanya, we'll round it out.
All right.
Wait, what you drinking?
First of all, man, introduce
Norris, what you drinking?
Look,
water.
I just got some water, because if I had anything else, y'all would be on here by yourselves. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna have to keep it H2O 100.
Yeah, man.
And he drinking it from a protein shake cup.
Yeah, because I got to work out in the morning.
Yeah, you're right.
So tell everybody real quick who you are and what you do, and sort of how you came about doing this profession.
Absolutely. So Jamaury Norris, tagline Mr. Health and Wealth. I am a financial literacy coach, author of Healthy Wealth 101, as well as a speaker and coach. My passion has always been financial literacy, and really the way it came about, originally from Michigan, came down to Jackson, Mississippi, and that's when it really kind of hit me, as far as there is a difference between the way that people live. And I really wasn't privy to that, because when you grow up and you're poor, you really don't know you're poor until you get exposure to other environments. So when I came down to Jackson and saw that there was a such thing called suburbs, and realized that there was a difference between the outer city and the inner city, I was like, man, what's the difference? What's the difference in the the circumstances and the situations that people are encountering? And that difference was financial literacy. And you can't change your economic situation if you don't have financial literacy. And a lot of times, especially in the Black community, we don't have or we're not privy to that knowledge, because when we grow up, our parents are either not business owners or or entrepreneurs, or just financially well off to the point where we're having those conversations on a regular basis. So I just felt that it was my calling and my duty to educate, these young African Americans to increase their financial literacy. So when they're making that transition from high school to college into their career, that they don't make the same financial mistakes that we made or that our parents made. So that's who I am, and that's why I'm here.
That's what's up, man. So look, I can tell that you're on the road.
hmm
What do you got going on right now before we get into, like you telling us the ways that we can get financially fit this year?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, man, just doing a little financial literacy speaking here in North Carolina. Also rocking with my man, former Tougaloo grad, Dr. Tommy Mabry. So I'm rocking with him, and yeah, man, we just taking this message where it's needed, and just educating the people.
So y'all on like tour.
Yeah, man. When it don't stop, we're here, and then in Durham, Raleigh, and then tomorrow we'll be flying to California, to Moreno Valley, California.
Man, that is outstanding, man. Look,
But
y'all.
where's my ear?
What?
I'm about to resend the ear because the ear need to go there.
Okay, all right.
Shout
Tanya,
out to Tommy Marbury. His story alone is powerful.
Phenomenal.
I met him when I was after Katrina at the Boys and Girls Club. He told me the story. He shared it with the kids. Now he's Dr. Tommy Marbury. So it's like Mabry. I was saying Marbury. Mabry. I'm sorry. It looks dialect, right? But it's so powerful that he's you don't want to say rags to riches, but it is that from the streets to
from Ashley to classy.
Exactly. There we go. He's a classic.
You said from what?
Man.
From what?
Ashley to classy.
You can even look real clean. You need that. You need to put that on the board. I'm a classic.
We can't put that on the board. We don't have clearance for that.
Yeah.
Second, we're gonna educate. But Jamaury. So one thing Jamaury or Jay Norris, which one you prefer?
You can Jamaury, Jay Norris.
Okay. Don't tell me which one I can do whatever because I'm spoiled.
Who's that?
Okay. Anywho, so look, on the for real though, recently I started to do this and I love how you're educating, talking about what's needed in the communities. Mm-hmm. So at the beginning of the year, everyone starts this like save this amount, save that amount. I'm now on week 5 of savings. How successful do you feel those trends are to saving? And then once you do save, what should you do after that?
Well, I don't think it can't be a trend. It got to be a lifestyle. It's just like we got these diets, the fads, the ketos, low carbs, no sugars. If you fasting for 28 days and then you go back to eating garbage again, then what's the point?
Right.
So same thing with it financially. If you saving just to say I met this threshold and I saved $1,000, but then as soon as the latest iPhone come out, you right in line and you finna blow it. Like, what's the point? You saving for what? Saving is just the very beginning, but what are you doing with that? Are you getting a return on that money? So I think that when it comes to saving, you have to have an intent with that money, because just leaving it in the bank is just pointless. You're actually losing money when you're just leaving it in the bank. How are you getting a return on your money? What's the intent for the save? Is what you have to ask yourself, and what's the next step. So whether it's that you investing in the stock market, you invest in in real estate, you investing in a business, you have to have a very purposeful intent with your money. You have to make a plan, just like we've always heard, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So like I said, just saving for the purpose of saving is pointless.
So really quick, you said stock market and you said what was that?
Real estate.
Real estate. Mm-hmm. When we're talking about stock markets, because if you notice that your Cash App, your Venmo, all the digital platforms of spending money payments or what have you, mm-hmm. How real are those compared to your actual stock markets? Because I bought my first market in high school, and it was Sears,
Hmm.
and I sold it because I didn't know any better for $600. I paid 10, so I
Hmm.
gained 590. Right, I was less than 20. So
See how that
how?
joker eyes perked up?
Yeah. That's a hell of a ROI right there, boy.
ROI, what is that?
Return
Return
on
on investment.
investment. Yes, return on
Come
investment.
on, come on. Ninth grade.
Yeah,
Shout out to Miss
that's cool.
Pryor, Warren Easton, who taught us about stocks.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So,
Shout out
how
to
do
you.
you feel about the Cash Apps, the Venmos, their stocks? And should we invest there?
Mhm.
Or, like, I have JP Morgan Chase as well as a stock. How do you feel about these compared to what's your traditional stocks?
Gotcha. I say don't do it with the cash apps. Ain't even going front. Don't do it. Don't do it. And the reason why, and I understand, it's very user friendly. And if that is your first, point of exposure to the stock market, then fantastic. If that
Yeah.
if that starts you off, but you have to graduate. And the reason why I say don't do it is because you need a full service brokerage account. You need somebody that got the app, they got the desktop, they got customer service. You can call and ask about your money. You can't call nobody on Cash App. To be honest with you, can't call nobody on Robinhood either. So and when you're on Cash App and you're buying stocks, you don't technically own that stock per se. Like if I own my
Mm,
stock in a brokerage account, say if I'm with Fidelity or Charles Schwab and I want to transfer that stock and I open it up a TD Ameritrade, I can transfer that stock to, TD Ameritrade because I own it. With Cash App, you don't because it's not a brokerage account, if you will.
That's news. That's news.
wow.
That's news. Chime in as it relates to Robinhood. Is that the same instance with
Yeah, so
Robin?
so Robinhood is a brokerage account. I just
Okay.
don't like Robinhood because they be robbing the hood. You know what I'm saying? They look, and here's the thing, very user friendly, especially
All right.
when the pandemic hit, everybody wanted to invest. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robinhood was the most user friendly way. It was highly advertised. You can go in there. It's just, they make it easy for you. But the problem with Robinhood, as we've seen in the past, is that, man, they'll freeze your account.
Yeah.
Sometimes when markets get volatile and you trying to get in something, you can't buy it or you can't sell it. So, because I had Robinhood as well, and I transfer everything out from Robinhood to another account, and they ended up locking my account because I moved everything, so they got a little salty. But so yeah, on rock with the Robinhood. Go ahead and get you a full service brokerage account that you can call somebody. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So,
That's
do
that.
you have that in place, or do you recommend us to go? Who do you recommend us to go
Oh
to?
yeah. So I use TD Ameritrade, and I've been using them for the last 7+ years. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, E Trade, those are all full service. And when I say full service, they got a desktop platform, they got an app, and they got customer service that you could talk to somebody. Not the chat. I want to talk to a live, real
Yeah,
human being. You see
yeah.
what I'm saying? So that's what you need because you're gonna need that.
Wow. Come on, educate.
Yeah, yeah.
Do we have anybody in the comments? Or you see anybody there, Chuck? I mean, this is the time right now to ask some questions. Anybody that's listening?
I I have not seen anybody in the comments, but I do have a question.
Absolutely.
Come to me. So Robinhood is a decent entry point, but what you said, we
Absolutely.
need a full service company,
Full service broker.
desktop out, and then we can get somebody on the phone.
Absolutely.
Now we talking stocks, and we mentioned real estate. What are other ways or other suggestions that you might have in terms of things that might be referenced in your book
Hmm.
that we can get to a financially fit person?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good stuff.
Wait,
Good
really
stuff.
quick. And then to tag onto that, where can we get your book to learn more?
Oh yeah. Well, you can get the book. You can get the book at JamauryNorris.com, and it's also available at Amazon, anywhere that books are sold, Books a Million, BarnesandNobles.com. I think somebody even said they saw it on Walmart.com. So it's available everywhere. Uh, but yeah, so to answer that question, I think when it comes to just being financially well rounded, I think the first thing is just starting with the conversation, having that financial literacy. One of the main things I talk about is understanding assets and liabilities,
Mm-hmm.
because so in this generation, you know, is with the technology and everything. I mean, you can get money pretty much from anything. It's very, very accessible. But like I said, are you getting a return on your money? Because when you send that money out, it needs to be coming back with something.
Right.
It's just like your time. Time is, like they say, time is money. You spend your time, you need to be getting some value from it. So understanding assets and liabilities, so that um, so you're not just really kind of tossing your money down the drain, if you will. Uh, Budgeting as well. I think budgeting is essential, and I think budgeting has gotten a bad rap because usually people associate budgeting with not having, or that's for poor people, or I'm restricted or I'm limited. But I tell people all the time that even wealthy people, millionaires, have a budget. They just got a bigger pot to budget from. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not about what you have. It's about what you do with it, and the plans that you have for your money so that you can increase that pot, if you will. Also, another big thing is, which is, you see it all over the internet, is credit. Like, credit is one of the big things that a lot of wealthy people use, because what we call OPM. You don't use your money, you use other people's money, and that's how you kind of leverage wealth building, especially like in the real estate game.
Yeah.
Uh, and we use it. We use it every single day, but we're not taught about it, because the first two major purchases that you're probably going to use your credit for is for a vehicle or
Yeah.
for a house.
Yeah.
All right. So, and that's what we're trained to, like, okay, I got to make sure my credit right for that. But man, when you really understand the credit game, you can leverage it, so much to build wealth, and to invest in real estate, and not just buying a house or buying a car, but to really catapult yourself, and take your investments to the next level. Man, shout out to the Calico Group. We're doing some big things over there. Um, and then also, man, one of the things that I necessarily didn't talk about in the book, but another big one is life insurance. Like, life insurance is a game changer. And I used to think life insurance was just to bury people.
Yeah.
This is my philosophy on life insurance. When somebody dies, somebody should be getting rich.
Yeah.
And I know
Oh,
you don't want to hear that.
oh God, dude.
You know what I'm saying? So somebody should be getting rich, because that's what our counterparts have been doing all these years. Like, how you think, these businesses get started? How do you think Disney got started? Walmart gets started. Like, this is a life insurance play. So don't be, we shouldn't be, doing a fish fry, or doing a GoFundMe when Big Mama die, or whoever
Right.
passes. If you don't have life insurance, this is tax-free wealth, tax-free, tax-free wealth. So when someone dies, somebody should be getting wealth. I mean, you're gonna mourn, but I promise it's gonna be a lot easier to mourn when you ain't got to go to work for 30 days, and you can come back refreshed, you know, pay off everything, start a business, do some investments. It just changes the whole trajectory. Like, it can change the whole dynamic of your family tree financially. So make
Yes.
sure you have life insurance in place. And I'm not gonna go into the details of which one. Just get some, because you missing out. Because one thing that's guaranteed is we all ain't gonna make it out here alive.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So you need
Hell
to have something in place. And if you don't have life insurance on yourself for your loved ones, you just flat out being selfish.
You,
We
you
don't
know
wait.
what you saying, that I think about. You talk about the difference between cultures, right? So why do certain cultures know their grandparents and great grandparents so well? And I actually had a client in their living room where the bar was. They had an oil painting on the wall
Hmm.
of the grandfather
Hmm.
who, when he died, he left and the house was taken care of and everything. So you continue to know the story
yeah.
because it was something that was passed down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Besides just a lot of the stories, you can see and touch things that was passed down to
It's
when they had
legacy.
transitioned. And so my quick story was um, I was recruited by New York Life several years ago when I was working at a psych facility.
Mhm.
And the white guy, I guess he had saw me on the news doing something. And he said, yeah, we really need you, right? So he was in a fraternity at Ole Miss, and we started talking about that. So then he brought another gentleman in. I just started listening to him talk, I said, here's what you want. I said, here's the difference. I said, Keisha and Sarah go to the same school. They have the same degree. They graduate the
Mm.
same time. I said, Keisha graduate and her $32,000, she has to pay for a car. She has to pay for a used car, an apartment because she can't live at home and she's not able to do as much with hers. Sarah, on the other hand, take the same $32,000 and she's able to live great because her family had property. She didn't have to pay for school because her grandfather died and left her some when he worked at the sawmill. I said, here's a different story. I said, the thing is, you see me and you know you want to get some of this black money in that black city. I said, so the thing is, because you know that as soon as somebody's born, somebody's going to die. And you
Mhm.
know how much money can be made with life insurance. Well, here's the thing about life insurance. Do you know that they put a cap based on what your income is? Because people were getting $1 million life insurance policies and making 40 some $1,000 a year. I'm not going to point out what color you think they might have been.
Mm.
They were really changing the game. So
Oh yeah.
now your insurance policy has to match up similar to what your wealth is.
Mm.
Wow. Wow.
So you know what I'm
It's
saying?
a
But
game changer.
it's a
Yeah.
game changer. As soon
Major.
as you learn the game,
Yeah, they changed the damn
the
rules.
game changes.
Yeah.
The game constantly changes, but you need some type of life insurance policy. But exactly what you said is like we know that we're going to leave here. So when
Correct.
Chuck leaves here, how does he leave Jackson and McCray?
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
You know,
And get
We
and
don't
get
like
it
to have those conversations though.
and that's part of our problem. We don't
get it.
want to have a real because we still hoping that we go buy a car and we still hoping that we get approved. Still
No.
walking
Yeah.
in and
Yeah.
knowing that
No,
oh
no.
I know my credit good, so don't even put me
My
around.
dad,
Just go
my
ahead.
daddy always say, "I'm setting y'all up for success."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
And
my
and
dad
it's
still say, I'm the baby." So
and it's crazy because when you talk about credit, I was talking to a young lady from Cameroon, Africa, and she
mm,
was saying how in Africa, like she's been here for a couple of years, but she was like in Africa we're not a credit based society. It was like if you ain't got it, you don't get it. Like they don't operate. They just it's just starting to kind of get
Right.
commercialized with the credit, but not like America. Like it's all about the credit. But because America is just a capitalistic society, so I mean
mm,
that's what we hear. That's what America is for. But you got to know how to play the game in order to really capitalize off of it. But just like you said, Tanya, we're not having that conversation because it was so taboo to like, you know, ask your parents like what they made or to
yeah,
have that conversation. Like that was like forbidden. Like you don't be in grown folk business like that.
Right.
Like
that
to
part.
like how much does this cost? Or like to go over the budget with the children
Yeah.
so they understand the value of a dollar and know that the Wi-Fi ain't just something that is magically in the air and free. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all of this, these lights, all of this stuff has a price and a cost to it. So I think it's in your best interest to, once your children get to that point where they start asking those questions, or really become aware
Yeah.
of of the of what money is, sit them down and tell them, look, this is the household budget. This is how much it costs for the lights, for the gas, for the water, for the internet, for the you know groceries. Like let them know that so they have an idea, and just that, I think that'll start to foster that conversation so that it's not foreign, because we go to school all these years to get these degrees to work a job only to get money that we don't know how to manage.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
and
Yeah.
and and now we're behind the eight ball because now we're starting in the hole because we're chasing this American dream. So now we buying cars that we can't afford. We getting a mortgage that we got for 30 years. We spending 20 plus thousand on a wedding, and then now we're working to get back to zero.
Yeah.
And then once we get back to zero, we don't know what to do with it
Right.
because we haven't been educated.
Yeah.
So
But when you say that, I bet you get a lot of ugly faces. When you talking about spending too much
yeah,
money on a wedding, living above your means, I bet
I
folks be giving
promise
you
if I
that
could go back, I would have went to the
fly.
T.
Listen, I feel like the thing is, especially when it comes to the Black race, because we've never, and I talk about this with Hurricane Katrina, you have families who sold legacies of homes and land for
Yeah.
$5,000-$10,000 because they never seen it. They never
Yeah.
held it, the value in a check or seeing it, those numbers in their accounts. And so we have that, like you said, that lack of understanding and education when it comes to knowing our actual value and our
Mhm.
worth, and what's actually in our land, and why we should just continue to invest versus being quick to sell off the minute we see 3 digits.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, you spot on. Understanding the value, and that's where the education and the financial literacy comes into place because you have to most black people, if you become wealthy, you're probably going to be first generation. All right. Um, Pretty much 80% plus of all millionaires are first generation. And then in the black community, it's probably more like 99%, right? uh, so you have to realize that it's got to start somewhere. So sometimes you have to, like you said, do what grandpa did. There's going to be some delayed gratification, and you may not be able to bear or to eat of the fruits of your labor, but look at what you're going to be able to do later on. So it's like, you know, if it's going to start, if a millionaire family, if you didn't come from a millionaire family, then a millionaire family has to come from you. But are you willing to put in that work and do the sacrifice to say, hey, I may not even get to experience this, but what I'm about to do, my generations down the line ain't never going to have to worry about this because if I'm going through this, I don't want nobody else to have to do this ever again. You see what I'm saying? Because like
Yeah.
Mac was saying, like when you graduate, that shouldn't be an issue of, okay, well, I gotta save up for this, I gotta do this, I gotta do that because I gotta buy this. That shouldn't be an issue. That should be already like your life should be, that stepping stone or those that advance or that financial advantage should already be put in place for you to start your life off, without debt because most people start off their life in debt, which is
Mm-hmm.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you set up like that, when you're set up, and I speak to my situation, like I was able to make it out of grad school. So undergrad and grad school scot free
Mhm.
because of the life insurance that my mother left. Now, past that, you fast forward to 2015, my father passes. Pops didn't have no life insurance, but he worked his ass off, and then he left me and my brother with a nest egg. So we're able to have the investment that we needed to make to get in the house, but also I didn't have any student loans. So
Mhm.
you have the luxury of like Mac, you described, uh you ain't starting out 30, 40, 50, and if you ain't got a PhD, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you got a master's degree, depending on what school you went to, in what state you went to school in,
Mm-hmm.
how many bad decisions that you made inside of your undergraduate years or your matriculation through however many degrees you have, you could be $120,000, $150,000 in debt easy. So I think one of the questions that I want to ask you, Jamaury, being that all of us are HBCU graduates and we love our institutions, right? You are an author, um, but you are also teaching things that are not taught inside of our classrooms.
Mhm.
What is your opinion about uh some of the knowledge that is now being, I would say, distributed through non-traditional means, meaning that you have folks that are positioning non-traditional education where you're able to go and learn, the skill of, let's say, trading, or you're
Mhm.
able to go and learn the skill of real estate. And a lot of people are bypassing the traditional, 4-year institution environment. What are your thoughts on that? And, being with the background that you have as a college graduate and all of that.
Now, definitely, I'll put it to you like this. I saw a post, and he was saying that he was, I forget the guy's name, but anyway, he was making a comparison. He was showing a car from, you know, 60 years ago. Say, hey, this is the car from 60 years ago. This is the
Classic.
car now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he was like, this was a phone, 50 years ago. This is a cell phone now. And he said,
Mm,
this is a classroom from 60 years ago, and this is a classroom now. And it looked exactly the same,
mm.
exactly the same the classroom did. So it's like technology is evolving, but the classroom is not. And that is very systematic. Education was started really to create factory workers. It was started during the industrial age. As we shifted from the agricultural age to the industrial age, we needed workers for these factories. So that's why the classroom is set up the way it is. You pretty
Mm.
much go to a class, you sit down and you take instructions. The bell rings, you go to the next section, you sit down, take instructions, you get a lunch break, you go back to work, to class,
Come
same
on.
thing,
Come on.
and you clock out and you go home.
Come on.
That's the
Wow.
formula. All right. It hasn't evolved. And now, but at the same time, the ultra wealthy understand that. And they're like, hey, somebody got to work at McDonald's or somebody got to work, so we can't be just teaching all the trade secrets now, because education is a business, whether you want to realize it or not.
Yeah.
Universities are nothing more than glorified marketing firms, and the brands supersede certain. Yeah, for real. So that's why Harvard, Princeton,
Ask right now and ask.
much,
I don't want no hard.
because they can market and say, okay, here's these graduates, these who graduated from Harvard, like, so you're gonna pay this, and then you have your lower institution and what have you. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I love education, love my institution, of course, I love, but at the end of the day, you should be going for free. You
Yeah.
should be going for free. But then at the same time, we can't expect to advance our people if we're not educating them on the things that are is necessary. Like I talked about credit. You're gonna use credit whether you want realize you got it, whether you realize it or not.
Right.
And so what happens is when you're not educated on, you jack it up. So how you going, if I'm going to class, and I was a business major, and I learned corporate business, but I didn't learn
Mm.
entrepreneurship. So I didn't the most I learned about credit was credit or debit as it relates to a bank account. You know what I'm saying? That was the most. So
Right.
it's imperative that we educate, you know, financially educate our people. And when it comes to these alternative ways of educating, whether it's different charter schools or what have you, I mean you have to realize that in order for your child to really thrive in this world, you have to change with the times. And sometimes, and you got some states that are now starting to. I think Alabama is maybe one of them that is making it. I think Michigan is one as well. Is making it mandatory to take financial literacy before you graduate. So it's starting to come around, but it's really still up to the home front and the parents to really educate your children on financial literacy if you want them to really have that knowledge and be able to thrive and utilize that knowledge as they matriculate through their adulthood.
Mm, mm. Man, this conversation is something we talk about, and we say our circle. And when we talking about health and wealth. We like, hey man, how you doing? How the family doing? We talking about business moves, and we're not just talking about business moves for us right now to pay that bill. We talking about 5 year, 10 year, 15. We talk about retirement plan. How you got a 10-year plan at 52, only doing what the hell I want to do. And so what we added to this, as you see what I better me in 23, is sometimes to get your goals and what you want to buy or invest in, you got to create another source of income. You know what I'm saying? So you might not say, well, I don't make enough to invest, but then create another source of income. Find something that you can do to invest your money so that you can dictate, or as Chuck said, own your labor, regardless if you're working for somebody else or not. And they say you're going to retire at 65 or 67. You said, no, I'm leaving out here at 55 because I have my money invested and I'm working on things so that you can invest. And what we know, everybody on this thing know that you can't get back time. Right.
Correct.
And you need that as much as possible to spend the time with folks. And so you got to try to make your money make sense so that you can have more time to do the things that you should be doing and need to be doing. But right, we keep thinking about the same places that make us sick are supposed to make us well. So they're not going
Correct.
to educate us on how not to be the laborer when the system is designed to have somebody always do the work.
Correct. So because the lion is never going to tell the gazelle how to get away.
Come on.
It just ain't gonna happen. It's like I gotta eat, they gotta live. So I'm not gonna share. I'm not gonna share my secrets with them, right? And Mac, you said something. Also, I commented on it. Then I'll go to Tanya because I think she got a question. But say people say, I don't have enough money to invest. Yes, you do. Your priority is just in the wrong place. If you're going to work and you're getting a paycheck, you got enough money to invest. You don't, and this is the myth. Like you need a whole bunch of money to invest. No, you don't. You do not. Like the investment, and I'll speak on the Calico investment. The Calico investment for what we put in to invest in that was very minimal compared to the potential ROI. But if your priorities ain't in the right place, and if you put more value on a pair of Jordans or the next iPhone or the next Louis bag, then you ain't gonna never have enough money to invest. You just living for the moment. I know, folks.
I mean, look,
I'm not step on some
I
toes
feel
with
like
that.
it's a pun. I feel like it's a. You should follow up with no pun intended because I showed my bag on the screen.
You-
I worked hard for that bag.
look.
Listen,
Nothing wrong with having nice things,
listen.
but
Look,
yeah,
I'm a woman of a certain, style and
You done
selective,
insulted me.
love. But here on the Farilla though, on the Farilla, as we say.
You done insulted me.
and stepped on some toes right here.
So no, on the Farilla though. So if I wanted to take my Robinhood investment
Mhm.
or what I have in my I guess my drawer, cash drawer, how can I trade that over? What's the process? Because I need that to happen like ASAP.
Okay, easy. So just
Oh,
like you,
and I just purchased your book. I got the
awesome,
receipt for it.
awesome, fantastic.
I
So
receive.
so as far as transferring over your portfolio from your Robinhood to another account, that's simple. Just like you opened up the Robinhood account, just open another account with another full service brokerage, and then once you do that, usually it's pretty simple online, but you can just call them and say, "Hey, I need to transfer," and they'll walk you straight through it. It can all be done online. You just type in your account number from Robinhood, what you have, blah blah blah, and then usually they'll do a direct wire from Robinhood to that account, or sometimes it just depends on the option. They'll send you um, a check that will be uh, that would be written out to your new brokerage account, and then you would just send it to them. So it's a very easy process. But just
So
call But
so
just
for
call that current brokerage account and they'll walk you through it once you open it up.
so for beginners, I guess in this big world of investments like
Hmm.
myself, what are your top three? Who do you recommend for those who are not as user friendly for brokerage, like brokerage firms to go with?
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, I use TD Ameritrade, so that's I just have a extensive history with them. They're good. E Trade is good. Scotch Trade is good. So those probably be top three. But like I said, the main thing is the desktop, the app, and the customer service.
So wait, desktop app. So
Customer service.
the
Customer
DAC
service.
effect. Hashtag DAC. Give me my sprinkles.
Ew.
Yes, you did.
That's me.
Don't get
That's
put
me.
Don't get put out. Don't get put out. Don't you get put out.
Oh man. That boy put it in live and direct.
Don't do it, Chuck.
Oh,
Don't do it, Chuck. She already said she haven't had a drink.
Listen, when I don't think y'all understand. Black Girl Magic happened tonight, and I witnessed it.
You witnessed
got a
I
question,
am
too.
so
I'm trying
MF proud of this sister. So
Yeah.
yes, I had a couple of drinks, but when it comes to my money, I don't play about that. Give me my own.
Ew.
All right, now look, for real, we got a question coming in the comment.
go ahead.
Joel, if you have no idea what's happening, is Tanya Boyd Cannon's signature. Like it's a stab, it's a gerund.
It's your confirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
If
I'm
you want to
going
know if
real.
your outfit look good, I'll say that look nice.
Yeah.
If I go, if you
Mm.
don't get an it ain't happening.
Mm.
If the food good, you gonna get an There you go, Jay Norris. If
That's a
your
for sure right on. For sure right on.
financial investment folder is on point,
And your investment portfolio is right.
Ew.
Ew.
But I was thinking, look, we got to get to Joel. My
Go
bad.
ahead. What do you got?
Whole show about the etymology of the phrase and the word All right, but Joel is here. Joel is asking, would you say 401ks are the same as investing money with certain jobs? I think I need some clarity on that one, Joel. I don't
Man,
know.
that's a great and I'll try to. I think I know exactly what he's saying.
All right.
So 401ks and investing are two totally different things. The reason why I say that is because when you put it in a 401k, you traditionally have no idea what you're investing in. It's very passive. They're taking that money out of your check. It's going into that account. Most people that I talk to with 401ks, they don't know how much is in their 401k. They don't know how much they're paying in fees. They don't know what they're investing in. So when it comes to investing or actively investing, you know exactly what you're investing in. So if you're investing in Apple, you know how many shares you have at Apple. You know how much Apple cost when you bought it. You know how much Apple is going to make you when you sell it. So it's a difference between just sending your money over that's coming out of your check to a brokerage account where somebody is managing and taking 1%, opposed to investing your own money. And I recommend that you invest your own money opposed to 401k. Now I understand if that is your only if that's your introduction to investing, and you say, well, man, I'm not disciplined enough to even go in there and look at the different stocks and what have you, and buy it, then I understand. But once you learn the game, you will realize that you can increase your wealth a lot faster if you invest your own money passively, not just with the 401k. Now, if you've maxed out your 401k and and you got some extra, then definitely I wouldn't go past. If you want to max out your 401k, great. But anything past that, you need to be investing on your own, because it's more lucrative that way. Plus you ain't got to worry about the manager taking 1% of your money, because they're gonna take their 1% whether you have a good year or a bad year.
So just to clarify, 401ks, your IRA, and your state retirement, or anybody
PERS
people have pensions, like PERS,
Yeah, pensions are really kind of non-existent, and they ain't giving that money no more like that.
Right. So all of those things are basically the same. Am I correct in that? that kind of grouping?
Yeah, so it's very very similar because a 401k is nothing but a IRA through your job
Right.
because an IRA is an individual retirement account. So it's either a 401k through your job or you have an IRA on your own
Mm-hmm.
that you invest in. But the same rules apply as far as from a tax standpoint. You can't take it out until you're 59 and a half, um, or you get taxed on it. Now, what I will say, if you are going to open up a separate retirement account outside of your job, I would recommend opening up a Roth IRA and not just a traditional IRA, because the Roth IRA is when you don't get taxed on the back end. You get taxed right now, which is beautiful because I would rather you tax my, my $500 that I'm putting in rather than tax my $5 million when I take it out. You see what I'm saying? Now, here's the caveat with with the with the Roth, the max you can put in a year is $6,000, and
Right.
they do that on purpose because the government don't want you getting that bag, right?
Yeah.
So opposed to a IRA, I forget what the number is this year, but I think it's like 19,500 is the max you can put in IRA. But see, and that just goes to show how valuable the education is, because, like I said, the government or any job for that matter is not going to pay you enough to make you rich, right? They're going to pay you
Right.
enough to make you comfortable. So with the IRA, they say, okay, well, you can put in almost $20,000 because we want to tax that on the back end. But with that Roth, you can only put in $6,000 because we don't want you don't be on get crazy around here. So understand the psychology and what these government-based programs are going to allow you to do. Use them to your benefit, but at the same time, the best way to really increase your wealth from investing is understanding how to do it yourself, and invest your own money in your individual brokerage account.
Now
So,
we can keep going deeper, man. I
yeah,
think Mac. I know you got one more,
yeah.
but I want to invite my brother Jamaury Norris back for another one.
Oh yeah,
We,
we got you.
we might get into understanding the candlesticks
Oh,
and then
oh,
I
the
want
trading.
the trading thing,
Positions and all that.
yeah,
Hey,
entry
listen.
points.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we can talk that talk. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's where I am because I've been
But
sitting
actually,
on some things. Okay, go ahead, Mac.
what we talked about was putting together the workshop and doing the actual link and people that are interested in signing up. So when we do it the next time, we'll have it already together and it'll be a closed link. And he offers services too. And he need to tell them about that before he get off, because we're gonna do a workshop where we drop the link, folks can register, and we'll do a Zoom or whatever, and it be those folks in the room. Because again, they keep changing the game because our ass keep getting on every damn platform telling them all the shit that we know. So we gotta keep some of the stuff closed door, right?
Hmm.
Um, so that's one of the things we talked about doing, is getting it out there so we can come back and do the workshop.
No doubt.
Yeah, I feel you on that, but I guess there are some people that still don't know or understand, and we might be able to reach them and then wet their whistle. Because if you think about it, some of the things that we've discussed tonight, you had to have a baseline understanding.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct. Or
Now,
it's going to be like Spanish.
right? Because all right, think about it. I said
Corporation.
IRA, and then Jamari had to come back and say, "Well, that's the independent retire or individual retirement account."
Yeah.
Then we said Roth. Then we said
ROI.
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 Yep.
We said 401k.
Yep.
And Mac, I get you. The revolution truly cannot be televised, but we gotta wet some more whistles. That's my
Right.
opinion.
Yeah, that's why we said
I feel
bring him back for another show, but we need
Yes.
to also drop the link, because one thing we talked about when we were doing this thing, we kept doing one-on-one and we never got the 201. You feel what I'm saying? So
I get
we so But
But
see,
in the same way, and
Yep.
I'm cutting you off a little bit, but I'm adding to your knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
building on the foundation that you're putting down. You figure deal me, my brother? Do you figure deal?
side of tay.
Rizzle my
Side,
shizzle,
tay.
my nizzle on the
Tip your
rizzle
tie on
towel,
the
on the
running
tip
back.
of towel.
See, right. The other thing that I'm saying is the rollout that we did for the Calico project.
Mm.
And Mac, you, my brother, were a huge part of that. There were
Correct.
some people that got on board.
Get a drink. He looking for something.
There were some people that got on board, right?
Mhm.
And there were some people that was left behind.
Yep.
Right. Now, watch this. You've already put in motion a whole nother play that is on the horizon.
Yep.
So-
We drip it out. We drip it out the same way that we did the Calico. The people that we gonna have on the private call, they gonna get there. But I think we gotta run the same play that we ran the last time with Calico, so that we give enough notice. We have the expert come on. They talk about it. If you're gonna get down with the get down, then you're gonna learn about the the candlesticks and all of those things. So
let me just say
Jamaury,
this.
here's your
Big time.
invitation, sir.
I just
Financial
wanted to
fitness.
throw that.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
All right.
All right.
I feel like everything that you all are saying is present and it's needed. Those who want to adventure deeper become exclusive. However, what we need now is already present, because the best way to educate is to give knowledge. Education is free, right? So you just educated us tonight. And if you want to know more, you purchase the book, which I did. If you want to know more, you purchase the tickets to the workshop. If you want to know more, you become an exclusive nightcapper. It's coming in the works, where you get deeper and more intel information about how to be a successful Black business owner, entrepreneur, entertainer, educator, and so forth. Because what we give here on this platform is free. What you do with the knowledge is on you.
Facts.
Right.
So tonight, I was educated. I purchased my book. Now I'm getting ready to join.
Dive in. No.
What?
Too soon.
Right.
Hey,
And Jay knows
But
he
on
to
the-
offer his service.
look.
He need to tell his services too. what
Yes,
all
we
he
need to
do.
know, where can we find you? I've already tagged you on social media, so retag my shit. Don't act different with me, you know. Look, on the Gorilla though, I bought your book because what I will tell you is this: I just met you for the first time, but you're authentic. Are you a Virgo?
I am. And plant based. That's why the aura and the vibe.
Never
is there.
met you, but here's the thing:
I don't know. I should put that out there.
you're very articulate and you're very true to who you are. And I read that. That's why I bought the book, because you're true.
Thank you.
Keep being that. Keep giving, all of you. You're about to change the masses, brother. So look, I believe in protecting and preserving our culture.
Amen.
And I ain't bragging, but I'm one of those.
Mhm.
You're one of those. Mac is one of those. Chuck is one of those. So in order for us to preserve and protect our culture, we got to be true to what we say. Everyone on here need to invest and purchase your book tonight. I have my receipt on Amazon. I have my receipt for Toya's book. Pour into us. That's how we educate us.
Yeah.
That's it.
Facts.
I'm going to drink my drink.
Low key, Virgos make the world go round. All right, there you go.
Anywho, Leos set you all up to make the world go round. Ew. Can I get an ew?
No, not unless you shout out Chuck because he giving you that. face.
Listen. My moon is in Scorpio. Sagittarius is close to my moon.
Your ass right now. And afterwards, I don't want no hard feelings either.
Listen, y'all are close to us.
What the fuck is wrong? You gotta excuse me of stealing. The only thing I'm stealing out here today is your face.
Y'all, y'all are so spoiled. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Jay Norris, hurry up. Tell them people what you do.
Sagittarius, I already know. Let me tell you, y'all are risky AF.
Hey, Joe, no.
Joe, listen. Before we get to y'all, Scorpios, my moon is there. But Leos set up the Virgos, the Libras, the Scorpios, and Sag.
Hey, Jay Norris, go give us a
Jay Norris, I love your energy, brother. You real.
Appreciate
you're
it.
a real mofo.
Appreciate it. Man, them drops is man, you killing me with these drops.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so you can reach me IG at JamauryNorris.com, Facebook JamauryNorris.com. You can go to JamauryNorris.com, at Jamaury Norris, JamauryNorris.com. That's where you can go. You can get a book from there. Speaking, booking, private stock investing and trading coaching. All of that is on that link. And yeah, that's where I'm at, man. Everything Jamaury Norris.
That's it, my brother.
You gonna follow me back?
Absolutely.
I'm about to follow you.
And don't hang up because we gotta tell you about the other project that Chuck just mentioned.
I ain't say it out loud.
Don't say it out loud.
I just did this. I just sprinkle it on them, man. Sprinkle it on. Well, look, at the end of the day, y'all know exactly. Hey, you hear the money, baby? Do you hear the money? Let me hit you with the money one more time. Every time I hear that, he got a sale going.
Wait,
baby.
He's so good. People trying to fake his page. That's how good he is. I just saw it.
Damn,
they're trying to fake his page.
Yeah, so yeah, man, I didn't have people hit me up for that last week because there's an underscore before Jamaury Norris. That ain't me. Mine's is just JamauryNorris.com. Okay,
you famous. When somebody try to pretend to be you, that means you somebody,
bro.
Yes, bro. I mean,
No, you're actually Jamaury.Norris is your
handle.
Yeah,
Jamaury.Norris. Yeah, they hit you up. They're being your DMs talking about make $500 for some Bitcoin and all that stuff. I don't do all that.
We don't do that.
The man say he real.
Hey.
Yeah, so
tell Tommy I said, hey.
We'll do it.
Most definitely. Look, let's get out of here. Let's get to where the money resides, baby. Let's go.
Biggie.
Wait. Birdman hand rub.
We'll see you out here next week. Every Tuesday night, we are Nightcap Knowledge. We put something on your head before you go to bed. Want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors, all of our supporters. Please make sure you go check them out. Don't forget to sign up for the Better Me in 23 challenge. We still got it going, baby. Tanya Boy Cannon got some events popping off next week.
And the week following.
It's Nightcap Knowledge, baby. We'll see y'all next week. We out chill. Peace.